We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Oh, there is Cliffjumper. Oh, Cliffjumper's still on the mend. And Cliffjumper hopes that you guys are going to enjoy this next Transformer review. Right, Cliffjumper? Oh yeah, here we go.
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Welcome back, and of course with Cliffjumper bringing us in, we are talking about another Transformers toy. So this one is a Walmart exclusive, coming by way of Transformers Legacy Evolution. We got G2 Universe Cloudcover. Pretty interesting, another Seeker Jet in those weird unreleased G2 colors. This one is pretty interesting, and the box is flared out with all kinds of crazy colors, just like it was for Jazz and Mirage. And of course, if we break out a black light, you can see the package art is kind of glowing. He doesn't really glow that much himself, which is kind of surprising. Like maybe if I get him in a dark room, he would glow a little bit more, but yeah, this is really cool. I love that the package art all glows all the way around. Out of the box, here we go with Cloudcover. A pretty decent looking mold. Of course, this is like the standard Seeker Jet mold. This is like the this is more like Dirge, I think it is. I forget which one it was. I'm pretty sure it was Dirge that this one is like. So it's basically another reuse of a mold. Hopefully that there is no problems with loop joints like it seems to happen so many times when they reuse these molds. But let's get them with accessories and get them in some action poses. As you can see, we got Cloudcover right here in a running position, blasting away at those Autobots, balanced up on one leg with the help of that wing that's on the back end of his leg. As you can see, he's got a pretty decent amount of movement up there. He's got decent movement with the joints up in the hips. He has a single jointed knee. He's got a single jointed elbow. He does have a twist at the bicep. There's decent enough movement up in the shoulders to get in a lot of different positions right there. He does have a little bit of tilt back in the head and turn. Absolutely zero waste, but then again, none of the Seekers did. He also has fairly decent pivot and a little bit of rock down in the feet as well, and we'll show that off in the next pose. We go with Cloudcover in a big wide stance, showing off those rockers and pivots at the bottom of the feet. Very well done on this. Nothing actually feels loose on this one as of yet, but we still have to get through the rest of the motions with this guy. But so far, not bad at all. This is a bit unfortunate. I hate this. Not a very convincing kneeling position. I always hate when these things can't get into a kneeling position. That means there's a bit of a flaw in some of the articulation. But as you can see, everything else about this one is pretty decent. Here we go with one more pose. Got him stretched out, one leg and back the other, showing off a little bit more of the rock and the pivot on this guy. I think overall this one was fairly well done. Now we're going to have to get him into his jet form and see if all of it still holds together. Here we go with Cloudcover all transformed into his jet mode. It's like all the other Seekers. It's a little bit to get everything snapped into place, but once it gets snapped into place, it's not bad. It's still... It's an overall reused design that was pretty solid, so I don't have a lot to complain about as far as his jet form. It looks alright. It does look a little bit on the plain side, believe it or not. I don't know how, with the really weird mismatched colors I got on there, somehow he just winds up looking very blah in his jet form. I think the robot form looks a lot better on this one. Overall, I gotta say that Cloudcover is a pretty decent addition to anybody's Decepticon Seeker Jet collection. This is a pretty solid mold, even though it's been reused a few times. Maybe they could have spiced it up a little bit. Maybe put a few more different joints in there, something that would have given him slightly more articulation, especially down in the hips so he could get into a kneeling position. But it kind of is what it is, and this is kind of what Hasbro does. They take the molds and they just reuse them, sometimes ad nauseum. But no, this one is pretty decent. This one's pretty cool. Once again, Walmart exclusive with these G2 unreleased colors. But overall, a fairly nice figure. Now, because this particular mold does have a few flaws to it, it is not going to get a perfect score. But I will give this one a very solid 8 out of 10.
The Transformers will return after these messages. We now return to the Transformers.
And here we go with that last shot with him in a very darkened room with the black light on him. As you can see, he is not really glowing that well. Yeah, literally nothing about him really stands out in the black light like it did with Jazz and Mirage. Just slightly disappointing. A very tired Cliff Jumper hopes that you enjoyed this one, and be sure to let him know what you thought. Later, y'all.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.